When I hire someone, I don't put too much weight on their degree or where they studied. Of course, those things offer a glimpse into their background, and they can sometimes give me a sense of their academic abilities. But I don't consider them to be the most important factors. What really matters to me is whether I feel like they have the right mindset and skills to excel in the role and contribute to the team. It's a gut feeling more than anything else, and it comes from how well they communicate and how they present themselves during the interview process. My hiring process starts with one simple question: tell me the story of your life. This question isn't just for small talk. It's a way to understand the person as a whole. I'm interested in the experiences that have shaped them, the decisions they've made, and how those decisions reflect their values, priorities, and problem-solving abilities. It's an open invitation for them to share what really matters to them. I'm looking for authenticity and self-awareness in their answer. People who can articulate their personal journey clearly and genuinely tend to stand out because it shows that they've taken the time to reflect on who they are and how they've evolved over time. What's important is how they express themselves, not necessarily the specifics of the story. I don't expect perfection, and I'm not looking for grandiose tales of success. What I do want is for them to be honest and thoughtful, to convey the lessons they've learned from their experiences. It's about understanding who they are as a person and how they see themselves in relation to the world. I'm more interested in how they approach challenges and navigate setbacks than in whether they've had a perfect career trajectory. Once I've heard their story, I always follow up with deeper questions. One of the most important ones is about the toughest challenges they've faced and how they overcame them. This question can tell me a lot about a person's mindset. When someone has truly confronted a difficult problem, they're able to walk you through the entire process. They can give you specific details, showing how they assessed the situation, what steps they took, and what the results were. They're able to reflect on what went wrong, what they would have done differently, and what they learned along the way. Their answers are nuanced and detailed, and they show that they understand the problem on a deeper level. On the other hand, when someone is embellishing their experience or pretending to have solved a problem they didn't actually face, the cracks start to show pretty quickly. They may describe a problem in broad strokes, but as soon as you ask them to go deeper or to explain specific steps they took, they begin to stumble. Their answers become vague, inconsistent, or overly general. This is a red flag for me because it indicates they're either making things up or don't truly understand the problem. It's easy to talk about a general issue, but when you start probing deeper, you can tell if someone genuinely knows what they're talking about. It's that level of detail and self-awareness that I'm looking for, because it shows they've actually done the work and have grown from the experience. As I continue the interview, I'm paying attention not just to their answers, but also to how they approach these questions. Are they defensive when asked tough questions? Do they seem open to criticism or feedback? The way someone responds to challenging questions can tell me a lot about their emotional intelligence and resilience. I value people who can admit when they've made mistakes, who can reflect on their own actions, and who are curious enough to learn from those experiences. It's not about perfection. It's about growth, adaptability, and the willingness to learn. This process also helps me assess their character. Are they humble? Are they able to show vulnerability when talking about their challenges? Do they demonstrate empathy or consideration for others? Are they the type of person who can put the needs of the team first? Or are they solely focused on their own success? These are the qualities I value most in a team member. A degree or a polished resume can tell me about their knowledge or skills, but it's the intangibles like empathy, humility, and emotional intelligence that makes someone a truly valuable asset to the team. Ultimately, no degree or resume can tell me about someone's character or mindset in the way that an honest conversation can. The process of sharing stories, reflecting on past experiences, and discussing challenges helps me get a much clearer picture of who they are and whether they'll be a good fit for the role and the team. I want people who are resilient, who have a growth mindset, and who are capable of contributing meaningfully. And that's why I place so much value on the conversation itself, because it's through those authentic, thoughtful exchanges that I can truly understand who someone is and whether they have the potential to succeed in the job. In the end, hiring is not just about looking for the most qualified person on paper. It's about finding someone who will mesh well with the team, someone who has the right mindset and the willingness to grow. And that's what I focus on when I'm hiring. Hiring isn't merely about checking off boxes for skills and qualifications, it's about finding passion. Building a team is much more than assembling a group of people who meet the technical requirements for a job. It's about identifying those who genuinely care about the work they're doing. Passion is what drives people to go above and beyond, to face challenges with resilience, and to bring creativity to their roles. Skills can be taught, And experience can be gained with time and effort. But passion? That's intrinsic. It's a fire that burns within and keeps someone motivated even during the toughest times. If a person joins a team solely for the paycheck, their motivation is fragile. It'll falter the moment the job becomes difficult or mundane. On the other hand, passionate individuals find their drive in the purpose behind their work. They're fueled by a sense of connection to the mission, the product, or the impact they're creating. Challenges are inevitable in any workplace. Whether it's a tight deadline, a demanding client, or a major project setback, obstacles will arise. When that happens, it's the passionate members of the team who step up. They're the ones who dig deeper, find innovative solutions, and persevere through the difficulties. Their drive comes from within a purpose that transcends the job title or the salary on their paycheck. These are the people every leader should want on their team, the individuals who are inspired by the work itself and the difference it makes. It's easy to get swept up in the appearance of success. Fancy presentations, polished spreadsheets, and high-level meetings can create the illusion of a well-functioning business. But none of that matters if the core product isn't exceptional. At the end of the day, the product is the heart of the business. If it's mediocre, everything else crumbles. Too often, companies are led by individuals who focus on surface-level metrics. They boast impressive degrees, hold back-to-back meetings, and spend endless hours reviewing numbers. But they rarely step out of the boardroom. Leadership like this is detached, and it misses the essence of what drives a business forward: the product and the people who make it. Real leadership isn't about staying behind closed doors. It's about rolling up your sleeves and getting involved. Go to the factory floor, where the product is being built. Sit down with the people doing the work. Talk to the customers who interact with your product and ask them for honest feedback. Leadership requires humility, the willingness to ask, is this the best it can be? More often than not, the answer is no, and that's okay, as long as there's a commitment to continuous improvement. The mentality every leader and team member should have is simple: if something isn't perfect, fix it. Don't wait for someone else to take the initiative. Take responsibility and make it better. A product's quality speaks volumes about the company behind it. No amount of marketing or branding can disguise mediocrity. When people think about innovation, they often envision groundbreaking ideas or revolutionary products that change the world overnight. While those moments of brilliance do happen, they're not the only form of innovation. More often than not, innovation is about small, consistent improvements. It's about refining, tweaking, and adjusting until you create something better. Step-by-step progress might not seem glamorous, but it's just as important as any big breakthrough. A series of small, thoughtful changes can snowball into something extraordinary over time. This is why the mindset of constant curiosity and relentless improvement is so vital. One of the most effective tools for innovation is feedback, especially negative feedback. While positive feedback boosts morale and affirms what's working, it's the critiques that drive growth. They force you to examine your product, your process, and even yourself with a fresh perspective. Instead of reacting defensively to criticism, embrace it. View it as an opportunity to learn and to make your work stronger. Innovation doesn't require drama or fanfare. It's about never being satisfied with good enough. It's a commitment to always ask, what can we do better? Whether it's enhancing a product, improving a service, or finding a more efficient way to solve a problem, innovation comes from a refusal to settle. Great hiring practices, exceptional leadership, and a culture of innovation are deeply interconnected. Each one feeds into the others, creating a cycle of continuous improvement and success. When you prioritize passion in hiring, you build a team of individuals who genuinely care about their work. These team members are naturally more inclined to embrace feedback and seek opportunities for improvement. They don't view criticism as a personal attack. They see it as a chance to refine their skills and contribute to the team's success. As a leader, your role is to cultivate this mindset. Show your team that feedback is valuable, not punitive. Demonstrate by example that it's okay to admit when something isn't perfect and to take action to improve it. Leadership isn't about being infallible. It's about being accountable and inspiring others to strive for excellence. Finally, innovation thrives in an environment where passion and leadership intersect. When your team is motivated and your leadership is hands-on and supportive, creativity flourishes. People feel empowered to experiment, to take risks, and to suggest new ideas. Over time, this creates a culture of innovation where everyone is invested in making the company's product, processes, and services the best they can be. Success isn't built in a single, dramatic leap. It's built step by step, decision by decision, by people who refuse to settle for anything less than extraordinary. It's the result of hiring passionate individuals, fostering a culture of accountability, and embracing the power of small, consistent improvements. When you prioritize these principles, you create a foundation for long-term success. You attract team members who are driven, resilient, and creative. You develop products and services that stand out for their quality and value. And you build a company culture that inspires everyone to strive for excellence. The path to success isn't always glamorous or easy, but it's deeply rewarding. It's about doing the work, embracing challenges, and never losing sight of the impact you want to make. When you combine passion, leadership, and innovation, you create something truly remarkable, something that stands the test of time and leaves a lasting legacy. Too often, failure is seen as something to be avoided at all costs. But in reality, failure is one of the most valuable tools we have for growth and innovation. If you're not failing, chances are you're not reaching high enough or pushing yourself hard enough. The best ideas, the most groundbreaking advancements, don't come from playing it safe, they come from trying something new, taking risks, and yes, sometimes failing. It's in those moments of failure that we learn, adapt, and ultimately succeed. However, there's a significant problem in many workplaces today. Failure is often punished too severely. In environments where mistakes are met with harsh consequences, people tend to shy away from risk. They stick to what they know, follow the well-trodden path, and avoid doing anything that might lead to failure. And while playing it safe might seem like the sensible approach, it doesn't lead to innovation or progress. When people are afraid to fail, they stop thinking outside the box. They stop challenging the status quo and begin to focus only on incremental, minor changes that don't disrupt the system but also don't drive it forward. This kind of culture, where failure is avoided at all costs, kills the spirit of innovation. Without the courage to try new things, to take risks, and to potentially fail, no one will make the kind of bold moves needed to truly innovate. What's needed, then, is a culture that not only tolerates failure but embraces it as a natural and valuable part of the process. If you want to innovate, you need an environment where people feel free to experiment, to try new ideas, and to make mistakes along the way. A place where failure isn't something to be feared, but something to be learned from. This is the kind of culture that SpaceX strives to cultivate. We've had rockets explode. That's never easy to watch. And there's a lot of pain and frustration involved in seeing something you've worked so hard on fall short. But the truth is, every time a rocket fails, we learn something invaluable. Each failure gives us new data, new insights, and new ideas for how to improve. And that's what keeps us moving forward. We never stop learning. We never stop trying. And we never stop pushing the limits. At SpaceX, we don't just accept failure as inevitable. We actively seek it out because we know that failure, when handled correctly, is a powerful tool. It shows us where we need to adjust. It highlights areas where we can improve. And it ultimately makes us stronger and more prepared for success. In this way, failure becomes a stepping stone, not a setback. The key is understanding that failure is not the end, but a necessary part of the journey to success. The real secret to making progress isn't just about being bold or taking risks, it's about finding a balance between risk and reward. It's about being courageous enough to make bold moves, but also being wise enough to learn from the inevitable failures along the way. This balance is what allows true innovation to thrive. When you take a risk and fail, don't retreat or panic. Instead, analyze what went wrong, understand why it happened, and figure out how to make the next attempt even better. The more you fail and learn, the closer you get to success. Innovation doesn't happen by avoiding failure, it happens by embracing it, learning from it, and using it as fuel to propel you forward. If we all took fewer risks, if we were all afraid of failure, we'd never accomplish anything truly remarkable. Failure isn't something to fear, it's something to understand, to study, and to use as a tool to improve. In the end, it's how we respond to failure that defines us. That's how you move forward. That's how you build something that lasts. Starting and growing a business is no easy feat, but if I had to give one piece of advice to anyone venturing down this path, it would be this: be completely obsessed with your product. You can't expect others to believe in what you're doing if you don't genuinely love and believe in it yourself. When you're passionate about what you create, that energy is contagious. It radiates through your team, your customers, and everyone who interacts with your brand. If you don't have that deep belief in your product, why would anyone else? I've seen businesses struggle because their teams weren't fully invested or didn't truly stand behind what they were selling. Without that level of commitment, success becomes a much harder thing to achieve. But passion alone isn't enough. As a business owner, you have to be willing to step outside the comfort of the boardroom. Get out into the real world where the action is happening. Spend time with your team and, most importantly, with your customers. The best feedback you'll get comes from the people who use your product. Ask them directly, what do you dislike about this? What would make it better for you? It's easy to get lost in your own bubble of ideas, thinking you know what's best for everyone. But the truth is, only your customers can tell you what they really need. Be open to hearing the tough stuff. It might sting, but that's the feedback you need to evolve and make your product better. Listening is one of the most valuable things you can do. If you're not actively seeking out honest feedback, you're missing out on critical opportunities to improve. Another thing that's crucial to keep in mind is the real purpose of any company: to create something of true value. Yes, profit is important. It's how you measure whether your efforts are paying off, but it shouldn't be your only goal. If you lose sight of the fact that your company exists to create something meaningful, something that truly solves a problem or improves the lives of others, then you've lost your way. Profit is simply a reflection of whether your product or service is genuinely worth more than the resources you've put into it. But if your sole focus is on making money, you're likely to miss the bigger picture. Business should be about contributing something valuable to the world, something that makes a difference, not just about hitting financial targets. Building a business is not about getting rich quick or following the latest trends. It's about putting in the work, staying true to your values, and consistently adding value to the lives of your customers. When you focus on creating something meaningful, solving real problems, and continuously improving, the financial success will follow. Stay grounded in your purpose, stay connected to your customers, and never lose sight of what truly matters. So, to anyone out there working on something, whether you're building a product, starting a company, or even just shaping an idea, take a moment to step back and ask yourself, what would make this extraordinary? What could take your vision from good to unforgettable? Think about how you can go beyond the expected, push the boundaries, and bring something truly unique into the world. The path to greatness often starts with the courage to ask the hard questions, to dream bigger than what's in front of you. Then, take that spark of inspiration and turn it into action. Don't just settle for ordinary, make the choice to go above and beyond. Push through the challenges, embrace the uncertainties, and make it happen, because extraordinary is out there, waiting for someone to reach for it. Why not let that someone be you?